What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Bad versus Evil. I almost said John Matrix. Well, technically, it is my channel, but this is Bad versus Evil, the rule of not two. And as always, I am joined by Road Rants on Star Wars. What's going on? Did we lose you, Rhodes? I may have lost Rhodes because I don't hear him. Hmm. What has happened? Trying to figure out what has happened here. We're live. I don't hear anybody. I don't hear Rhodes. If you're in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. Because I think I may have lost Rhodes. Actually, I did lose him. He is not on. Something may have happened on his end. So let me send him another invitation here. And I'm pretty sure he'll pick up. So guys, Rondo say you can hear me. Maureen says that she can hear me. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And I just don't know what happened. I was just talking to Rose like right before we went live. And I said, let's get started. And I started it and he dropped out. So don't really know what happened, but we can get this show started. And make sure that you hit the like button if you're just now joining us. And we have a lot to talk about. And I really want to get Rose's thoughts on this too, because this is Captain Marvel week. And there is a lot of controversy that is going on with this movie. So many different stories. And Rondo said he went to see Captain Marvel. No, Rhodes said that he was not going to watch that movie. I didn't either. If I was actually going to go and watch this movie, let's say for instance, if Avengers Endgame was opening up today, we would not be having the show right now because I would be going to see Avengers Endgame. I I so enjoyed Avengers Infinity War. I'm really looking forward to Avengers Endgame. But I do have a concern though. Based on everything that's going on with Captain Marvel, a lot of people said this movie's just not that good. And if Captain Marvel is supposed to play a big role in Avengers Endgame, um, that's concerning. That is very, very concerning. Captain Marvel, and they've already done the reshoot, so I'm assuming that Marvel Studios actually thought this movie would actually, respond better or have a better response from the fans, but it doesn't seem that way. This movie was actually holding down a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is just god awful. It's extremely, extremely bad. Now, Rotten Tomatoes deleted over 50,000 reviews on this movie on their website when it got 31%. They deleted almost all of them. They just did a Thanos snap, and it's only like 4,200 reviews the last time I checked, and that was able to bump the score up to 36%. So I don't know what's going on with Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know what's their angle. When the want to see on Captain Marvel dropped to 26%, they just snapped up all of the do not want to see options for all of the movies on their website. And now Captain Marvel starts tanking badly, and now they just delete all of these reviews. I mean, Do you guys think that Rotten Tomatoes' reputation will now take a hit? Because I do. I'm really starting to think that Rotten Tomatoes' reputation is at stake now. So, and Rondo says, I'm taking the family to see Alita tomorrow, Captain Marvel next week. That's not the first time they deleted reviews. Okay. But man, could the timing be any worse though? You know? And I saw Alita last weekend. Alita is great. You got to see Alita. Definitely see Alita. But back to Rotten Tomatoes reputation. This has to be a hit. Everything that's going on with Rotten Tomatoes around Captain Marvel, it's not good. They pretty much changed made a bit time change on their website based around Captain Marvel. I don't care what they said. I'm not buying that these things are already in place previously to change the want to see or don't want to see. Not buying that. And now they delete like 90% of the reviews. Now, I'm not saying that they don't delete reviews. I get that. They should, because there may be bots, there may be trolls, that kind of thing. But to delete 90% of reviews, that's not good. That's a very, very bad look for Rotten Tomatoes. A very bad look. And I don't know how much I can actually trust Rotten Tomatoes now. This is very, very concerning for me because we don't ask too much as fans. We want the truth. The truth should trump all things. But now I just don't know what to believe with Rotten Tomatoes based off of everything that's going on with them. They're just I think they're being very, very dishonest with everybody. And they're not only really hurting themselves, but I think that it's safe to say that the MCU is taking a hit on this. Because I don't know if you guys know or not, the MCU is going to be in different phases. Avengers, I think Avengers Endgame is the end of this phase. And then they're starting a new phase with Spider-Man Homecoming. I think that may be the new phase, but I'm not really sure. It may be. But the rumor is that they were trying to make Captain Marvel the face of the new phase of the MCU. And I think they may want to reconsider that now. They may just want to reconsider that. Because it's not going to. I think it's safe to say now the MCU is probably on the decline. I mean, they had a great run. They had a 10, 11-year run. That is amazing. Not even Star Wars had a run like that. I mean, granted, Star Wars didn't put out movies like that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this the beginning of the end for the MCU? I mean, you guys let me know that in the chat. Is this the beginning of the end for the MCU? Because that seems to be a major concern right now that Captain Marvel is going to ruin Avengers Endgame. That is a very, very big time concern for me going forward with the MCU. I just don't see how Captain Marvel can't affect Avengers Endgame because I wholeheartedly believe that they are going to make her the difference maker in Avengers Endgame. And there's been rumors that some of the cast of Avengers Endgame is not really on board with Captain Marvel just showing up in Avengers Endgame. So, um, yeah, Maureen brings up Nick Fury's eye. Uh, yeah. Spoiler alert: we do find out that Nick Fury loses his eye, and the way he loses his eye is very, very underwhelming. If you don't want to know, I'm not even going to mention it here in the live stream because that's kind of a spoiler for uh for Captain Marvel if you want to see it, but it's disappointing. It's very, very disappointing. And Disney has allowed this to happen. Now, the MCU has been doing everything right. Everything has been going right for the MCU. And Disney is overall in charge of the MCU. So this leads me to even greater concern now for Star Wars Episode 9. Now, Star Wars hasn't been doing hardly anything right, and Disney is overall in charge of that. And then we all know that the MCU has been better than Lucasfilm. They just have. But if they can't get the MCU right now, how in the world are they going to make Star Wars right? So, uh, there are multiple reviews up now with no ratings. They deleted 50,000 reviewers and scored. Doesn't change much. It's all very suspect on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, didn't make too much of a difference. It really didn't. It really, really didn't. I mean, the score's still at 36% last time I checked. Um, Let me look again and see if it's actually changed at all. I can let you guys know what is going on. It looks like this is even worse now. The tomato meter is still at 81% from the critics. The audience score, it's actually doubled now. It's 9,000 over 9,000 ratings now, and it actually dropped now to 34%. So whatever Rotten Tomatoes is doing to affect Captain Marvel, they need to work harder because this thing is just keeps tanking. I believe in just letting everything just play out naturally, but they're trying to affect the outcome. I don't know if they're in league with Disney or what. Uh, doesn't make any sense. But why did Captain Marvel need to be made? I mean, if you look at the Avengers, look at Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow. Black Widow is a really, really cool character in the movies. Why didn't she get a movie? Why did they have to bring in Captain Marvel? Captain Marvel wasn't even a popular character in the MCU. Now, Black Widow really wasn't either, but Black Widow is pretty popular now in the Avengers. Why didn't Scarlett Johansson get a standalone movie? What makes Captain Marvel so special? I don't get it. Even Scarlet Witch is pretty interesting. So I don't get it. Some Mara Jade seen it, said that she streamed it a couple hours ago. Said not nothing much to spoil. Ooh, that's pretty bad right there. That's really, really bad right there. Wow. I mean, Mara Jade, if you saw it, what would be your rating on a scale of 1 to 10? And let me know that in the comments. What is your rating on this movie if you've seen it? Now, I'm not going to see it. I have no desire to see this movie. And especially after these bad reviews, I really don't want to see it. So, Yeah, and JS said it perfectly. Everyone, like Black Widow and Scarlet Witch, then why not movies for them? No, I think Scarlet Witch is actually going to have a TV show on Disney Plus. But yeah, Scarlet Witch and Black Widow definitely should have a movie or something before Captain Marvel. And I think that they have they have nobody but themselves to blame. Nobody. All right, so you have it 2 out of 10. That's not good. 1 for Goose, 1 for Ben Mendelsohn. I heard Ben Mendelsohn is really good in this movie. I really did. So Dog Show, you saw it too. 1.5 out of 10. Almost as bad as The Last Jedi. Man. So what did you guys actually not like about this movie? I mean, without spoiling the movie, I mean, was it the plot? Was it the acting? The script, storytelling? Let me know that because that is some really, really low scores. Yeah, TV show for Olsen, but a major MCU movie for Larson makes no sense. No, nobody really even knew who Brie Larson was. You know, they didn't. I mean, Elizabeth Olsen, people know her as Scarlet Witch in the movies, and she showed up. She's a very, very interesting character. I like her. Oh boy. Yeah, JS, we know about Nick Fury, so we're not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna mention it. I'm not gonna talk about any spoilers in the movie, even though I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't care. But for me, I'm not seeing this movie, but yet I don't want to know the spoilers for the movie because eventually I will see the movie, for free when it comes out on, I don't know, HBO or something. I don't know. But I don't even really want to be spoiled. So Marj says it's a combination of plot, script, acting, and feminist undertones in scenes. Yeah, Doll Show says script is jack. Listening to Brie Larson speak is awful. Yeah, I heard about some of the woke narrative that's actually in the movie. When a guy just tells her to smile, and I heard it gets pretty feminist, and like she beats up the guy or something, and then steals his bike. Uh, yeah, no, no. They tried to make it sarcastic like Tony Stark. Uh, I just don't see how Captain Marvel and Tony Stark could be similar. I mean, Tony Stark is pretty good at the sarcasm, but based on the trailer, Captain Marvel has no personality whatsoever. She seems to be the complete opposite of Tony Stark, you know? And Robert Downey Jr. does a great job as Tony Stark. So I just don't get it. I really, really just don't get it. So I'm still trying to find out what happened to Rhodes. 'Cause he just dropped out. I don't know what happened to him. Like I told you guys before, we were gonna be talking about all of this, and he was here. We were talking like 5 minutes before the stream went live, and I just lost him on here. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. I sent him a link. I'll try to send him another link again, but I just don't know what happened. So, but anyway, let's continue on. I hear that Ben Mendelsohn is good in this movie, but what movie isn't Ben Mendelsohn good in? I mean, I loved him in Rogue One. Samuel Jackson, Sam is good in everything that he does. Jude Law, I heard there's not a lot of Jude Law in this movie, which is kind of that's kind of a disappointment. to me. If I wanted to watch this movie, I definitely want to see more of him. I heard that there's a lot of '90s nostalgia, but once you get over that, um, the movie's really not that great. Even though I heard the '90s stuff is pretty cool, you know. Blockbuster. I mean, who didn't used to go to Blockbuster on Fridays? I mean, I used to go to Blockbuster all the time. You know, rent movies, rent video games. Blockbuster used to be the spot to be, you know, before, you know, these things like YouTube and Netflix, Redbox, those kind of things. You know, now you could just download movies and watch them. You know, the '90s were a completely different time. So I think it would have been pretty cool to actually see those kind of things, you know. And there's only one Blockbuster left, and actually I heard is actually doing pretty well. So okay. Craig Kilborn sports a sense for me on his TV show in the '90s. Now I have spoiled PTSD. See, I didn't get spoiled on the Sixth Sense, and I love that movie. That's probably the best M. Night Shyamalan movie to me. That movie, the twist at the end was just so scary. Yeah. So let me see what else you guys are talking about here. Yeah, tried is the opposite word. She was supposed to be quippy in scenes. That just really just gonna bother me about this. If she's going to try to pull a Tony Stark in these movies, mm, no. Who actually directed Captain Marvel? Let me see here. Because another thing about it too, if you actually go to IMDb, the rating for Captain Marvel on IMDb was at like 6.2. Now that's actually going up a bit to 6.7, which means it's an average movie. And just for reference, the Phantom Menace is I think it's at 6.5, somewhere around there. So they're basically saying this movie is around Phantom Menace good on the top end. This movie is directed by Anna Bolden and Ryan Fleck. So they had two directors and the screenplay. They also did the screenplay as well. Let's find out a little bit more about Anna Bolden. She's only had 10 directing credits, and wow, I think this is like her first movie. She did a documentary, a documentary, some movie called Sugar, which I never heard of. Uh, it's kind of a funny story, and Captain Marvel. That's it. So Ryan Fleck, he's only had 16 movies under his wing. Well, not even movies. Man, he's did some shorts, and yeah, this is like his first movie. So they basically let like two rookies direct these movies. So they don't really have any big budget movie experience. I mean, you know, it's kind of funny that they were able to do it because and The Last Jedi, you know, Ryan Johnson didn't have a lot of big movies under his wing. He didn't have a lot of movies under his wing. And they said now because of that, they're just going to um you know, get seasoned directors and seasoned filmmakers to do it. So Rhodes Rant says my laptop locked down and I'm on my second hard boot. I am on my phone, but it's about to die. Okay. Yeah, just come in whenever you can. We'll I'll just try to hold the fort down here as best I can. So really looking forward to the show though. This is gonna be really interesting. So Uh, so far, the reception of Captain Marvel is much, much lower than The Last Jedi. And that's saying a lot. Yeah, I mean, The Last Jedi did not have these kind of low scores. Now, but still, I can't imagine Captain Marvel actually being worse than Last Jedi. I can't. I haven't seen the movie, but I think it's safe to say that this movie is not. It's not worse than The Last Jedi. Hey, dog, do you want to come in and join in on this chat if you can? I can send you the link here. Let me see if I can find you. So if you want to join in, dog, you can. And dog says no film is worse than The Last Jedi. I've seen some pretty bad movies, and I guess I can safely say, as far as bad movies go, there's really, as major movies go, Last Jedi is probably the worst bad major movie. So I think that's probably safe to say. I'm either seeing Fighting with My Family or Leader this weekend, or maybe How to Train Your Dragon 3 again. Now I haven't heard of Fighting with My Family, so I don't know what that movie is actually about. But Alita, guys, I'm telling you, Alita is really, really good. You have to go see Alita. Go see Alita. Alita is very, very good. Yeah, JS says Alita's strong and well written character. Yet the push is for Marvel is shameful. Yeah. I would think if the MCU didn't have such a stronghold on, Hollywood and a box office, I think Alita would have been a huge, huge blockbuster if it didn't, come out around MCU movies. I really, really do. Because Alita is amazing. It really is. Actually, I think Alita probably should have came out in December just to hurt Star Wars. And I'm willing to bet that it would have been better receptive than Star Wars Episode 9. I really do think that. And I hear the dog show is here.
Hey, John, what's happening?
What's going on?
Sorry, I had to. It wouldn't let me join the first time, but I think we're rocking now. As they say.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So Rhodes having some problems. I don't know if he's gonna be able to come back in or not. So right at the beginning of the stream. So I'm like introducing. I'm like, hey, I'm saying like, hey, Rhodes rants on Star Wars. I hear nothing.
Yeah, I just had walked in and heard you going, and I was just about to ask where's Rhodes at, and then saw him in the chat there. So hopefully he can jump in here.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I heard you talking about Fighting with My Family. Did you get to see that?
No, I haven't heard of it before.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you know about it?
Yeah, I checked it out. It was okay.
What is it about?
I'm not sure. Like, I lost track of wrestling probably around that time that was kind of going on, right? But I guess it's about there's a female wrestler named Paige. If folks are familiar with her or whatever, right? So it's kind of like about her and her family and things of that nature, right? And how she got into the WWE or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But it's all right. Lena Headey's in it. Cersei from Game of Thrones. So.
Oh yeah. She's really good. I like her. She was really good in Terminator: Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Okay, I haven't checked that out yet, but yeah.
Oh man, it was only I think 2 seasons of Sarah Connor Chronicles, and It was amazing, and they canceled it, which made absolutely no sense because that TV show was really, really good.
Oh man.
Yeah, and they canceled it. I was kind of just disappointed that they did cancel it. So, yeah, but pretty much I was talking about, I was tomato meter for Captain Marvel just went down again. It's down to 80%, and they actually have 10,650 audience reviews, and it's at 34%.
Now,
So,
I don't know if you noticed, John, like take a look at that 80% one
yeah.
and where it says more info, click
Yeah.
that and then hit your top critics.
Yes, the top critics really don't like this movie. It's sitting at 65%. So that's enough to make it fresh because you only need a 60% to be fresh.
Right.
But these
Then you
top,
only need a 6 out of 10 score to make it a good one, right? And to me, a 6 out of 10 is not a great film. And
no.
yeah, those average scores weren't all that hot either. I think they were like low sixes, just when you looked at average scores. I think, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's not really good at all. And I heard if you actually go to Metacritic actually has this movie,
like
which is
66 or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, I heard that it's actually more non-biased, and it has Captain Marvel. I just have it here. Where is it at? It has it at 65.
Oh Lord,
Yeah, it has it
that's
at
not a good
65.
grade.
No. And that's based off of 51 critics. So, oh man, I'm starting to really, really be concerned that Avengers Endgame is going to be ruined.
Uh I'm not too concerned with it. I think
But I think it's going to mainly it's going to have to do with how they use Captain Marvel in Avengers Endgame.
that's gonna be. I mean, I don't want to spoil nothing, but yeah, I think the end of this film's gonna make you mad though.
Of
So if you do, if,
Captain Marvel.
yeah,
Yeah, I heard that there's like an in-game reference in the mid-credit scene, I believe.
right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I didn't hear what it was, but I heard that it's not good.
it's just like I don't know, like the origin of everything. You
Oh,
know, just kind of ticks me off. So
yeah. But
I'll leave it at that. I'll let you come back and let me know how you felt about it
yeah.
if you decide to even see it. I
Uh
will spoil one thing: Captain Marvel wins.
wow, that's a shocker.
So,
Well, let me ask you this. Is she a Mary Sue?
uh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, in some
Oh,
aspects. I mean, she's not to the point of Ray though, or nothing like that. I mean, she kind of does get
yeah.
her. She gets tossed around a few times there, but
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Who is a better character? Is it Ray or Captain Marvel?
ooh, oh man, boy, they're
That
both just equally. You know what it was? Because like as soon as she started, like her first couple of lines, like the way she was just, I don't know if it was the delivery or just the way it was written or whatever it was. I was just like kind of tuning out at that point, right? And but yeah, Ray is just super annoying. But yeah, with that freaking smile all the time too. Like look,
oh.
I bypassed the freaking coolant system or something,
Oh,
right?
man, I hate that, man.
Look
I
how
hate that.
freaking awesome I am, right? And yeah, so yeah, Ray is freaking amazing. Boy, that's tough. That is a tough one.
Man, that's pretty bad though, man, because I don't like Ray. Ray is one of my least favorite Star Wars characters. I mean, she's like on Rose Tico level.
I absolutely, and I mean, and tell me if I'm wrong here, right? Is anything since the first time we've ever met Ray on what's that place called, Jakku,
Yeah.
right? Like
I
the first
just
time we've ever even met her, right? Has anything about her character changed at all since the
okay.
last time we've seen her? Like,
Yeah.
there's no change in her at all. She's just the same, Sue that we met on Jakku.
Okay. Well, I sent you another link, Rhodes. So it looks like Rhodes is going to be coming on. Man,
Awesome.
man, that's very, very concerning, man. I mean, if she's that bad on Ray level, man, that's just. I'm thinking they have to just push her to the back end Avengers Endgame. She just needs to just blend in and not take over because I mean the word is she is the one that's going to defeat Thanos. Oh man, that's just gonna if she defeats Thanos, I think that's going to really tick a lot of people off.
That would be the biggest troll in the history of movie trolls. Like out of all those years, it's like, yeah, everybody got just absolutely trolled by Captain Marvel if that comes down to it. But I don't think it's going to come out that way. I hope they don't.
I hope it doesn't, you know. And one thing about the box office about this movie, this first full week, man, this is going to really be the telltale sign if this how much this movie's going to make at the box office. Because forget about week one, it can make 300 million. Doesn't matter. If it has a Last Jedi drop off, which the Last Jedi dropped off 65%, this movie is not going to make as much money as it should or as you think. And then the other factor is you have Avengers Endgame coming out a month later. So all the money is going to go to Avengers Endgame. So this movie really has this week to make a dent in his box office gross to me, especially the first 2 weeks, because after that, it's Avengers Endgame time, and movie tickets, they're pretty expensive, man, for families. When I go see a movie, people want to see it in IMAX and 3D. That's like $15 a person, man. So if you're a family of four, that's $60 just for a ticket. And you talking about like food and stuff like that. So probably what, $100 for a
Easily.
family of four to go see a movie. So families are going to be choosing between one, Captain Marvel or Avengers Endgame. So they got to make a dent. Really, really, they got to make a huge dent this weekend.
Right.
And these reviews are not helping it at all for next weekend.
So and you're right on the money with that, John. Because it's like, yeah, they could do all this great stuff on this first weekend, right? But I always key in on that second weekend, right? I want to see, if there's any change in theaters, and I want to see the percentage drop, or on that hold of, what it does, right? That's usually a good tell, if a film is, if it's good or not. Usually is that second weekend drop off. So, then you also want to make sure you're looking at things like, the theaters and things of that nature too, right? So, but yeah, right. If it does well this weekend and it has like, say, like a Harry Potter drop off of like 64% or something ridiculous, right? Or like the Last Jedi drop off too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Last Jedi drop off was 65%. That was huge. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think the first week of The Last Jedi, I think it made just as much as The Force Awakens or a little more. I'm not really sure. But that second weekend drop off was so huge that it came up $700 million short of The Force Awakens. So that's really the key.
Yeah, I want to say that for some reason there was either a $20 million swing either way, and I want to say Force Awakens might have made possibly 20 million more on that first weekend. But Last Jedi might have broke a record, like say on a Thursday night or a Friday night or something like that. They keep so many of those damn records now; it's hard to keep track of them sometimes. But I know it certainly had it certainly had a bigger drop off the next weekend. That's a fact.
Yeah. It looks like we got Rhodes back. What's going on, Rhodes?
Hey, Rhodes.
That was a nightmare. 30-minute nightmare.
Yeah, man. I'm like, and joining me as always, Road Trance on Star Wars and dead silence.
Nothing.
I was like,
and you and me had been talking for like 10 minutes right before you were hitting the live button.
Yeah.
I was sitting here and I heard something in my headphones and I was like, what's going on? So I like pulled my headphones off and my hard drive was just buzzing. And I was like, oh, that's not good. And I looked down at my mouse pointer and I moved my pad, nothing.
Wow.
And my whole machine locked down and I had to do like 3 hard boots to finally get back up. And then the last 10 minutes, the link didn't work to get back in the Hangouts. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm back.
Wow.
I'm back.
Back again.
I'm back again.
Like Eminem.
I wish I had his money.
He's kind of on the decline now, so I don't know.
Oh, are we? I guess we're talking Captain Marvel.
Yes, we are.
All right.
We've been talking Captain Marvel. I don't know if you kind of caught everything we were saying. Kind of keep up.
Yeah, I
to
caught
speed.
the probably last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah. Well, the big thing was, Captain Marvel and Rotten Tomatoes. The score dropped down to 31%, and all of a sudden, Rotten Tomatoes deletes like 55,000 user reviews, and that bumped the score up to 36%. And it's actually now it's like 10,000 reviews now, and it's only at 34%. So I'm thinking that there's some kind of collusion. There has to be some kind of collusion going on, probably with Disney and Rotten Tomatoes, because Disney is extremely powerful. They own like everything, and they're trying to make it to where they're trying to delete, I guess, the negative reviews on this movie, but they're not being fair. If it's, to me, if it's actually trolls that are negatively reviewing the movie, there's also trolls that's going to be positively reviewing the movie also.
Right.
Like 10 out of 10. This movie's not a 10 out of 10. Like,
oh, they're already hitting my Captain Marvel videos, talking about, yeah, okay, look at all the money it's making, blah blah blah. I got one like 3 minutes ago, in fact.
Yeah. But John Talks did a great video last night. He was actually talking about fake reviews on Captain Marvel. Like, somebody gave it like 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10, and they were just like, right, fantastic movie. Or like, this movie rots. And it just comes off as fake.
Right.
So really good movie. The real reviews were a little bit more in depth, a couple of sentences or so. So what are your thoughts? What do you think is going on?
Well, I think we've already seen Disney's influence on the media, right?
Right.
Far as the guy that made the movie Fanboys, he came out and said that literally he had not talked to anybody in the media that thought The Last Jedi was a good movie. And he was like, well, where did all these reviews come from? And evidently a couple of people in the media just come out and said, well, they're false. I mean, everybody claimed that they liked it because they did not want to lose access from Disney. Right?
Right.
Media access, in other words. In other words, they don't get invited to the red carpet of Avengers Endgame or of Star Wars Episode 9 if they write this scathing review about how bad The Last Jedi sucks. But think about that. A director in the film industry says, I've talked to all these people in the media, and they all admitted The Last Jedi sucks behind the scenes, but they're not willing to go on the records to say that because they don't want to lose their access. And
are you talking about that video that came out like a few days ago, and I saw some channels reviewing it with this one guy?
That video actually came out about 3 months ago.
Okay,
but I can relate that back to Rotten Tomatoes though, because if Disney has that kind of influence on all these media outlets, there's no reason to think they don't have that kind of influence on Rotten Tomatoes, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm starting to think Disney feels like they can make or break the entire entertainment industry. That's what I believe. I'm starting to feel that way.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see, I don't know if you or Dog feel this way. I would like to see a platform like Rotten Tomatoes. And I would like them to allow critics to actually give anonymous reviews. Because on Rotten Tomatoes, you can actually see the people, that's actually reviewing the movie. I would like to see an anonymous, non-biased platform where you don't have to say who you're working for or use your name or anything like that. And I think we'll get a lot more honest reviews. Like on its tomato meter here, it's 80%. But the fans who have really no interest and they're not gaining anything from giving a positive review, it's 34%, but yet the critics are 80%. That's a massive gap. So something is not right. I think if critics were honest, this may be in the 50s, you think?
More than likely, I think so, John. And yeah, that would be a great idea to do. And I would also add, I would like to see like any score that's like, say, under a 7, is not considered, a good score for the aggregate. Because like right away when we look at that 80%, that looks like 8 out of 10 film to a lot of folks. They're just going to look at 80% and think that, oh, that's amazing, right? But again, like we looked at those average scores, I'm sure they're probably under 7 or they're close to 6 out of 10s, right? And to me, that's not a good film. A 6 out of 10's that's a 60% film. I mean, and you're going to spend $100 on your family to go, watch a 6 out of 10 film. I think the folks deserve a little better. So I would also boost that up to like a 7 out of 10. Anything under 7 out of 10, then that would probably be something that keep your money in your wallet, if you will, right? So, and then just like you guys were talking about earlier, just wanted to point out like those audience scores. That was really happening during The Last Jedi when you would see folks. They would call out people for trolling, yet like the folks that had legitimate beefs and arguments, and issues with the film, they were leaving like reasons why they hated the film, and then you would see these like 5 out of 5, best film I've ever seen, greatest Star Wars film I've ever seen, right? No reason why they liked the film or anything of that nature, just greatest film ever, all right, and 5 out of 5. Like who's trolling who here?
Right. There's trolls on both sides. I mean, we can't deny that there are trolls out there. But I think overall, trolls only scores. Trolls are probably what, 5-7%. It's not going to be that high,
right?
I mean, they're going to make you. I mean, these shill sites and the media are going to make you think that like half of the reviews, 60% of reviews are from trolls, and that's just not the case. I mean, even have you heard John Campia's review on this movie?
I haven't seen John Campia in long time.
Man, he is a major shill.
Still,
he's a major shill.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna give him credit on this. He said that Captain Marvel, I think he liked it, but he said he wouldn't even put this movie in his top 8 to 10 MCU movies. So to him, this is just like a mid-tier MCU movie. That's like what, 20, 23 MCU movies?
Yeah, I guess it's on par with like, I don't know, maybe like the first Captain America, or like, I don't even want to give it that much credit actually. Maybe
I really like the first Captain America.
I kind of
was going to say, wait a minute.
I'm like the Thor Dark World one.
Maybe Ant-Man, something like that.
I wasn't
Ant-Man for some reason.
I wasn't a big fan of Guardians 2. It was okay.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I hated Guardians 2. I loved the first
Guardians 1 was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like Guardians 1. I was surprised because I went into it not thinking I was going to like it.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I definitely like Guardians 1. I'm trying to remember Guardians 2 now. Oh yeah, I remember it now. Yeah,
that's the one with Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was like hit or miss at times. It had its moments.
But man, I mean, you need to see Tyrone Madness review. Tyrone Madness. He was just brutally honest, man. You know how he usually comes in with all his energy and everything?
Oh yeah.
Man. He started off his video just like breathing hard. He was like, man, this is the worst MCU movie ever. I mean, you know, he always does this 10 million subscribers. Woo! Yeah, right. He was like, man, this movie is a 1 out of 5.
Well, you know, he hated The Last Jedi.
I don't remember his Last Jedi review.
Yeah, he hated it. Yeah, he hated The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he's an actor himself.
Yeah, he is. He's got a movie that's actually on his. Well, it's kind of like it's a movie, but it's sort of like a series too. That's on his YouTube channel.
Oh,
that I've watched like one episode of.
yeah.
I mean, it's low budget, but I got to give him credit. I mean, I'm not in a movie, so
Yeah.
10 million subs, that's nothing to sneeze at. But
Yeah, man, I work with a guy that he's in the film industry. He actually works at like a local store here because it allows him time to do like screenplays and stuff like that. And he's kind of like negotiating with a network for his show, but he's done movies before too. He actually wrote and starred in a movie. He actually got one of the guys from Friday to actually be in the movie. So he has some talent. So, but no, not a bit time actor. But
he's certainly entertaining on YouTube, that's for sure.
Yes, I love his reaction videos. He is the king of reactions.
I'd put him in like if I do watch reactions, he's probably in the top 5 for sure.
Definitely. So Mara J said Madness hated it. Based on Tyrone Madness's review of Captain Marvel, I'm thinking he actually may have thought The Last Jedi was better, just based off of his expression, his body language, his review. Because I can't imagine him being any more down and more disappointed with a movie. I mean, you just got to watch his video.
I'm trying. I distinctly remember him being bummed out on one of. I think it was The Last Jedi one. But yeah, I remember him looking like somebody like his dog was lost or something. So no pun intended there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit Star Wars fan because I think earlier, like a few years ago, his channel, he used to have like strictly a Star Wars intro on his channel.
Well, his channel blew up when the Force Awakens teaser came out. And he reacted to it, and it got like 3 million views or something. And that's when he even said when he reacted to. I was watching something a while back, but he was like he flat said that the success of his channel all really and truly started from that first. When in fact Tyrone just went live, literally. Like I just saw his notification and it says
he just went live right now?
Yep. Captain Marvel sucks, but at least it was better than, and he doesn't continue it. I wonder if he's gonna say better than The Last Jedi.
I didn't get a notification.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Because he doesn't usually go live. He went live a few days ago. Oh, now I see it now. 57 seconds ago.
I think like pretty much most of his reviews I've pretty much always agreed on, except for like he's a big, huge Batman v Superman fan, which I'm totally not. But I mean, we're not all the same, obviously, right? So
I like that movie too.
You like that one too, Rhodes? What?
Yeah.
You like what, Rhodes?
Yeah, I like most of those DC movies.
Which one did you like?
Batman v Superman.
I like the Ultimate Cut.
Oh yeah, the Ultimate Cut is real good.
Yes, the Ultimate Cut, I did like it.
Yeah.
Now Justice League,
it's a different film. I mean, really, the Ultimate Cut is a different film.
Yes, it is. But Justice League, oh man,
that's trash.
Justice League is bad, trash.
Man. Yeah, Justice League is trash. But I liked Man of Steel. I liked Wonder Woman. I liked Batman versus Superman.
They've only really had one true flop. Well, technically two. You know, the individual standalone movies were good. The collaboration movies, that's been the problem for DC. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know how you can. Now, even though we like the Ultimate Cut, but still, how could you mess up Batman and Superman?
Right.
Like, well, you had Batman and Superman.
How could you mess up Star Wars?
I know. I was just about to say that. How can you mess up Star Wars? Star Wars is actually a lot easier to not mess up than Batman and Superman.
One of their mistakes was they kept like, it's like, man, we have freaking Batman and Superman on screen, you know, and we keep cutting the Lois Lane. I was like, geez, OP, how many times are we going to cut the Lois Lane already?
But you know what though? I did like Batman versus Superman. Actually, I like Justice League better than Batman and Robin, 1997.
All right.
Man, I watched the trailer for that movie last week. I just died laughing because it was so bad, man. It was so bad. Arnold, it's time to freeze. It's like, man, they actually made that movie.
You know what? I think that's still a toss-up for me. I really do. I hated Justice League.
Yeah, but it was better than Batman and Robin.
I don't know. Man, they're both equally shitty.
Guys in the chat, let us know which one is worse, Batman and Robin or Justice League. Because I think me and Rhodes on the opposite side of the table with
they're both shit. let's not get confused.
Which one would you rewatch, Rhodes?
Oh,
like you could sit in the bin it's right in the bin right now. You have to pick a movie right now. Batman, Robin, or Justice League.
I'm gonna watch Batman and Robin again.
You know what? I am too. It's just one of those bad films you can actually watch through.
Yeah, I've got Arnold in there being just dumb, kind of campy like.
But Arnold was not good in that movie, man.
No, he was terrible. They were all terrible.
But I can still, at least the Justice League, Gal Gadot is still good. I like the guy that actually plays Cyborg, and I like the guy playing Flash.
Oh, see, I don't.
And Henry Cavill is Superman. You know, Henry Cavill's good at Superman.
Yeah,
there was almost nobody good at all in Batman and Robin. George Clooney was not good as Batman.
I'm a fan of the TV Flash, and I think Ezra Miller is straight trash. I am so mad that they didn't cross that universe. I like Grant Gustin a lot on that Flash TV show, so I'm not a big fan. That Flash doesn't sell me at all.
Okay,
I can at least watch Batman and Robin as a comedy. Okay,
right. That's what I was thinking.
I can watch it as a comedy and get a laugh out of it. Actually,
yeah, but the mighty had fallen. Look how great the Michael Keaton Batman movies were, and that was under the same universe right there. And how just trash. I mean, they just destroyed Batman. I mean, that movie single-handedly destroyed Batman until Christopher Nolan did Batman Begins 8 years later. I mean, that's how much damage that movie did to Batman.
Talk about taking a step up.
Oh, and still today, I think Batman Begins is actually still my favorite out of that trilogy. I love Dark Knight still, but I don't know what it is about Batman Begins. I love that film. Maybe it's because it was just so much better than the last Batman installment we had, right? So,
okay. Well, let me ask you guys this. You're gonna get a kick out of this one. If you guys are both gonna say you'd rather watch Batman and Robin, okay. Would you rather watch Batman and or Superman 4: The Quest for Peace?
Oh man,
that movie's awful, man.
No, I'd watch Superman 4.
Yeah, I'm watching. With Nuclear Man destroy Superman.
Yeah.
Well, at least you got Christopher Reeve in that movie.
Right. Hackman's in that along with John Cryer.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Richard Pryor's in part 3.
Yeah, I like part 3, but Superman 4 is trash.
Yeah,
it is so bad. It's one of those movies that are so bad you got to watch it. Still, you know.
Exactly.
Movie came out 30 years later. I could watch it right now, and I could enjoy myself knowing that it is just bad.
Destroy Superman.
Who was the guy that played Nuclear Man? Was awful. He came off like so robotic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bad Dolph Lundgren knockoff
guy. Joe K470 says Batman Begins 2005. 8 years it took for Batman to recover from that disaster. Completely agree. I mean, guys, we're just talking like bad movies right now. I mean, what are some bad movies that you guys watch? You know it's bad. You don't like it, but you watch it anyway. I mean, Last Jedi doesn't count because I think we all just hate the movie so much we can't watch it at all.
Trying to think of a few.
I did say, I think I talked about this on another live stream. American Ninja 4 and I think came out in 1991 with Michael Dudikoff, because I love those American Ninja movies. Part 4 is trash, but I can just sit there and watch it.
I can think of a couple right quick. Rocky 5.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
Rocky 5 was okay in the beginning till once he lost all his money. That's when that movie went to shit. It was bad.
And the Karate Kid Part 3, maybe.
Yeah, that's another one that'd be on my list too.
I actually like Karate Kid 3, but it's not on the level of the first two. I like Mike Barnes is a really good villain in that movie.
Yeah, he's just so great and campy. And then the other guy, not Crease's partner,
Terry Silver.
Yes, Terry Silver. Yeah, he's so freaking campy too that it's just the one-liners in it and stuff like that. It just makes it so watchable all the way through.
Yeah, and I just don't get one thing that did bother me though about that movie is Miyagi just doesn't want to train Daniel and just lets Daniel get beat up. His shop gets robbed all the time. Oh, I'm not training you. Like, dude, just let him fight. It's obvious these guys aren't gonna give up. So just train him, you know? Like I didn't like the scene where, Miss Miyagi's gonna show me how to front sweep. And then he takes a broom out there and say, you hold like this. And so you just go back and forth. Like he's just making fun of him. I was like, come on, man, really? I didn't like that.
That's so Mr. Miyagi, though.
That's Pat Morita, because Pat Morita was a really funny comedian. You know, but Miyagi is just making fun of him. You know, usually when Miyagi does something, does work, it actually has meaning behind it. You know, like in part 2 when he was had the hammer and the nail, he had him do that for a legitimate reason. You know,
all right,
to clear his mind and focus. Also, that's where he was gonna be staying at over the summer. That front sweep thing was just to make fun of him.
Yeah, probably helped him out with that ice trick later down the road too.
Yeah.
And I noticed you guys had the you guys are pretty stoked for Cobra Kai Part 2 season.
Yeah.
Man, I cannot wait to see Sensei Kreese back in action, man. We have not seen him. Oh, man. I got to tell you, man, Cobra Kai, that's an SJW's nightmare because it is just so anti-SJW. Because they were actually making fun of SJWs in that TV show. If you listen closely, I think one of the teachers was talking about like a gender fluid shirt or something like that, and you know, and Johnny's just so cool in that show, man.
Oh, right, yeah. By the time that show was over, he was my favorite character out of all of them.
Which is insane. You know, if you come out of the Karate Kid movies, you know you hate Johnny. And they made him like, you know, you felt
relatable,
sympathy for him, empathetic. You were rooting for Johnny Lawrence from the Karate Kid. I mean, who would have thought that could ever happen?
Yeah, I think because he was relatable. You know, his backstory was actually, you never saw his backstory in the movies, but in the TV show, he wasn't born into money. His mom just married the right person, and he was a 98-pound weakling. You know,
right?
And he just walked into the dojo, and you saw what Johnny was through Miguel, and Miguel was just like Johnny. You know, 98-pound weakling. You know, came from nothing, and then he just became hardcore. That was Johnny.
And Johnny, they made such a good comeback story for Johnny. You know,
yes.
Golly, man, Lucasfilm could take a lot of a lot of lessons from this Cobra Kai, you know.
Absolutely.
Cobra Kai is nostalgia done perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost done so perfect that I don't know if season 2 can actually top season 1 as far as the way they did the nostalgia thing, you know.
Didn't you get the notion they were kind of flipping it back where Cobra Kai is going to kind of go back to being the bad seed?
kind of at first, but when I saw like, I was talking to my friend last night because I posted in the link to the trailer too. We were getting a little discussion about it, but like, Daniel's like advertising and stuff like that, even though he's doing it for free. I was like, I don't know if Mr. Miyagi would approve of this method so much. So I kind of caught that.
Well, Miyagi taught him for free too, and Daniel is rich; he doesn't need the money.
Right. I just don't know if Mr. Miyagi would be, if he was living in this day and age, would he be out on the internet, trying to, advertise that he's, giving free karate lessons and stuff like that, right? I mean, before it's like he didn't even want to train Daniel, right? He was going to teach him how to sweep with a real broom, right?
Yeah. And I'm wondering though, what is Daniel's motivation now for actually opening up his own dojo? Because if you remember in season 1, he actually, tried to deliberately raise the rent on like everybody in that strip center, and it pretty much almost put them all out of business.
And that's
Miyagi wouldn't approve of that. So I'm wondering if he's trying to open up the dojo now just to take Cobra Kai's students away.
That's what I'm thinking too, John.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I don't think Miyagi would really approve of that. Because Daniel, he's the hero, but Daniel is very, very flawed. Very flawed as a person. I mean, technically, he's really kind of a bully too, Yeah. Like if in part 1, he went into the stall, he poured water on Johnny when he was in the stall. Johnny didn't start that fight. Daniel started that one,
Right.
Daniel was kind of a douche. Let's just be honest.
He was.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering how they were going to do this season 2. It was like that, it was a great cliffhanger how they left it. And I was like, well, what are they going to do now? Right. But yeah, well, it was a nice, great trailer. And just what you guys alluded to, you're talking about, Lucasfilm could, take a page from what these guys do there with the Cobra Kai series, right? They treated the original cast characters, right? Daniel and Johnny, right? They're main characters in this series, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't put them way off to the back or, drastically change their character, things of that nature. And then they brought in the new characters just right? They didn't
exactly
shove them in our faces kind of thing. And I love all the new characters now too, just as much as I like the new ones or the old ones, right?
Yeah, because the new characters really didn't start telling their story till episode 3, because episode 1 was Johnny's story. Episode 2 was Daniel's story, where he's at. Then episode 3, they really started, digging into the new characters. But overall, Cobra Kai is really Johnny Lawrence's story. And it's so good. It's so, I can just relate to Johnny. I really, really can, I'm the short dude, and just seeing him in the 1970s, this little kid riding a bike, and that kind of thing. I mean, I'm not from a rich family, but his stepdad was an asshole to him, and I was like, man, he didn't have the perfect life. I think we can all relate to that. Yeah. I think that's what we really like about Johnny now. He didn't have the perfect life, and you watch Karate Kid, we thought that he had the perfect life, and I think Daniel actually thought that too.
Joe K said Highlander 2, The Quickening, is one that he can watch a lot. I love Highlander 2, I do, but it's kind of crappy, but I love it for some reason. I can watch it.
I have to watch it again. I really don't remember it.
Michael Ironside and Sean Connery were both also in that movie with Christopher Lambert. Yeah.
I love Highlander 1. Highlander 1 was great.
I think we all like characters that have flaws too, right? That have fallen on their ass and have to sort of fight their way back.
Yeah.
And sort of that's the reason we hate Ray so much,
Yeah.
And I guess now Captain Marvel is these flawless characters that we want to see a character have to claw and earn their way back to the top or to the top to begin with. So, Cobra Kai gave us that. I mean, it was perfect in setting that scenario up, you know? And now I think Johnny and Kreese are actually going to team up for a while, and then I think Johnny's going to turn on him.
I do too, because one thing, I think Johnny is scared of Kreese. Because remember, at the beginning of part 2, Kreese tried to break his neck. And I think Johnny knows he's not as good as Kreese in karate. So he's letting Kreese hang around. And I'm thinking that he actually may end up teaming up with Daniel at the end.
Oh.
Because they already set up kind of, oh, they could probably be friends. They set that up in the season 1. You know, the next to last episode. You know, they were going out for a beer. Daniel gave him a car. They were reminiscing around town. And then, bam, Johnny's son. Daniel's training Johnny's son, and he doesn't know that. And Daniel didn't know that was his son either.
Those two singing in the car was priceless.
Yeah, that was great, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were stalking Elizabeth Shue, too.
Yeah.
Oh, is she coming back?
I wouldn't be surprised if she made a cameo.
Oh, my God.
That would be great.
Just like Daniel's mom made a cameo. My wife was actually talking about what if Kumiko shows up in season 2. I don't see that happening. I can actually see Elizabeth Shue showing up because she has a relationship with both Daniel and Johnny.
Yeah.
And
maybe at the end of season 2, kind of like they did Kreese, you know.
Yeah.
Have her show up, you know, somehow.
They may have Terry Silver show up.
Oh God.
Or Mike Barnes, one of the two.
That'd be cool if they had Mike Barnes in this show. That would be really, really cool. But maybe if they did a twist. How about this here? Mike Barnes is supposed to be karate's bad boy. He was so bad. You know, what if he's like this reborn Christian, something? He's like a minister. And in Cobra Kai season 2, they just completely flipped the script on him. You know, would that be funny?
People were talking about how hot Elizabeth Shue and Virginia Madsen is in the chat here. Virginia Madsen was super hot in Highlander 2. I remember that.
Yeah, Elizabeth Shue really doesn't look that different. She doesn't look that old.
Oh my God. I
she's
thought
like
she
50.
was the hottest thing ever when I was a kid.
And she's like 55, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but William Zappa doesn't look that old either. I mean, he's like 52, 53. He didn't look that old.
I did not realize he is a highly accomplished director. He's directed a ton of stuff.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's directed.
I wasn't aware of that either.
Yeah, he's directed stuff. He's written stuff. I mean, he's been busy. He didn't have like he kind of quit the acting part, but he got behind the scenes.
Yeah. I think he was from the era of typecasting, you know, like Ralph Macchio pretty much was just typecast as Daniel LaRusso. I mean, he made some other movies. He was in that movie Crossroads. I really like that movie.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, but for the most part, guys get typecast. You know, William Zabka, he was in
Back to School.
Yeah, National Lampoon's European Vacation. He played Audrey's boyfriend in that movie, and really didn't see too much from him since then.
Yeah, he just played the schmuck in Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, okay. And all of those other guys that were in the Cobra Kai's didn't see anything from them. Except,
I can recall. Yeah, I don't even remember really. Oh, you know, it seems like we saw Kreese in like Rambo 2.
Yeah, he was in he's in Rambo. I think he was also, wasn't he in Death Wish with Chuck Norris?
Might have been.
Death Wish is Charlie Bronson.
That was long.
Yeah, but wasn't he in that? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Yeah, but
I think he actually was like a big episodic TV at Martin Cove is his name.
Yeah, Martin Cove, yeah.
Yeah. And he was like a big episodic TV actor back in the 80s.
Yeah.
But
when you say that Kreese, the character of Kreese, is one of the best villains, and he doesn't do any martial arts at all in Karate Kid Part 1. But he had this aura around him, like this is a guy you don't want to cross.
Oh wow, he Martin Cove starred in Cagney and Lacey in the 80s.
Huh.
He was in 113 episodes of Cagney and Lacey. Y'all remember that show?
Yeah, I remember it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a huge hit back in the 80s. God, he was in all kinds. I mean, Hercules, Walker, Texas Ranger, Renegade, The Incredible Hulk.
Oh yeah, I remember him being in Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a completely different character in that show. That episode he was in, he was like this, almost kind of like a geeky guy in a way. I mean, he played that role pretty well, but it was hard for me to imagine him in that role.
He was in the Goldbergs last year.
Yeah.
I have not seen that episode, and I love the Goldbergs, so I gotta check that out.
Yeah. So do you guys think that Karate Kid Part 3 kind of destroyed his aura as John Kreese? The aura of John Kreese, because he came off like comic book villainish in Karate Kid Part 3.
Well, I just think it made Miyagi look like he's the most dangerous man on the entire planet, probably in the history of film. Actually,
Yeah.
I would say Mr. Miyagi's probably. I don't think there's any human being that could beat Mr. Miyagi one-on-one.
Yeah.
Maybe Batman with his utility belt or something, right? But I mean, Mr. Miyagi's a bad dude.
Oh, he's kind of like sort of like the real life walking, talking version of Yoda. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, he really is. I mean,
if Yoda was like all of a sudden a human, he'd be Mr. Miyagi, okay?
yeah. What did he say in Karate Kid Part 2? When whole life out of focus, return to the foundation of life. What do you mean? Praying? Breathe. No breathe. No life. Yeah, he definitely is like a Yoda type of figure.
Absolutely.
I mean, he has like all of these quotes for everything. And he can actually get Daniel to work for free and not complain and get stuff done around his house. I mean, if some guy told me he's going to teach me karate and he's never around to show me and I'm just being his personal servant, no, I'm not sticking around.
Karate Kid Part 3 got Raspberry nominations for the worst movie of that year.
Really?
Yeah, along with Harlem Nights, Star Trek 5.
Harlem Nights is really good, man. I
Star
like
Trek
Harlem
5
Nights.
was terrible.
Oh my God. Check this out. Karate Kid Part 3 on the tomato meter, 16%. And the audience score has it at 34%, the same as Captain Marvel.
Wow. I'm surprised that low audience score. I didn't think that folks hated it that much.
Yeah, I didn't think it was, that bad.
It made me laugh so much, just listening to Mike Barnes, I don't know. It just had its moments for me.
Yeah. Now,
See there, guys. Nobody's going to get that from any other live stream. You see that segue from Captain Marvel? We weaved our way back around through Karate Kid
all
Part
that
3
right back into
and connected the dots right there.
well, now this surprises me right here. Now, Karate Kid Part 2 has a 42% on the tomato meter and an audience score of 51%. I thought it would be better than that. I thought Karate Kid 2 was really good.
Yeah.
I think, I like the first one, of course, my favorite. It's like one of my favorite films ever. And I like Karate Kid 3, then Part 2.
Yeah, now Karate Kid 1. Karate Kid 1 has an 88% tomato meter and 82% audience score. And let's check out the
when I sit there and think about it, going back to our bin scenario, all right, I got Karate Kid 3 in front of me or Karate Kid 2. Which one am I going to watch?
Yeah. Karate Kid 2.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah, it's not close. It's not close at all.
A vastly superior film to the third one.
Now the Jackie Chan one has a 66% on the tomato meter and a 67% on the audience score.
It wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I just, You can't beat an original. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Now, this is the one people forget about. The next Karate Kid. This movie, I guess it's so bad, has a 7 on the tomato meter. 24% on the audience score. I remember seeing it. This movie was terrible.
It's all kinds of terrible.
Oh man, it was just god awful.
Yeah.
So
well, I got a confession. I actually saw that in the theater.
You saw it in the theater?
I saw it in the theater. Yeah.
See,
Now, in fairness, I was going to like 3 or 4 movies a week back then.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, I was bound to get around to it. So,
yeah. Oh,
I guess when Mr. Miyagi caught the arrow, that was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, yeah, that's a bad film.
yeah. Ratson brings up something in the chat. He says, "John, were you talking about Sasha Mitchell in the movie Truck Numbers?" No, I wasn't. Although Sasha Mitchell was in the Kickboxer franchise. Yeah. So one of the bad movies that I like is Kickboxer 3. For some reason, when he actually goes to Brazil and he's fighting there, that movie's not that good. Actually, it's pretty bad, but I like watching it. I don't know why. Thanks for bringing that one up.
That was the first one that Sasha Mitchell was in, right?
No, it was a second one because the only Kickboxer movie that Van Damme was in part 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
So he shows up in part 2, and they had Tom Poe kill Van Damme's character, I believe, at the beginning of that movie. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. But Kickboxer 3, he goes to Brazil, and it's not that good. Oh man. I guess we can make a case for a lot of these like 80s, early 90s martial arts movies. Yeah, then second, third. That's like I think he was like in five Kickboxer movies, 4 or 5 of them.
Has anybody seen the new Death Wish with Bruce Willis? I haven't seen it.
I have not.
I heard it was actually pretty good, but I have not seen it. I like the original. The original is considered a classic with Charlie Bronson.
Oh yeah, Goldblum's in that. It's like one of his first films.
Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah.
Huh.
Ooh.
Now I'm wondering when we're going to get a Joker trailer, because I'm really looking forward to that movie.
When's that coming out? Like this fall or something? Or
yeah, it comes out.
Okay, this is kind of interesting. The Rotten Tomatoes score on Death Wish, the Bruce Willis one.
Yeah.
18% from critics.
Wow.
73% of the audience liked it.
That's
Yeah.
a huge difference.
That's a huge difference.
how many reviews does it say?
There's 148 critic reviews and 7,600 audience reviews.
Okay.
But check this out. The critics don't like Alita. It has 60%, but the audience loves it at 94%. And the top critics gave this movie a 34. So I don't know why they don't like this movie. Alita is a great movie. I just don't understand that.
We're seeing that more and more though. There's a big disconnect between critics and the audience. I mean, it's evidently we're seeing it in Hollywood. There's a massive disconnect between audiences in Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, these are the same people that gave The Last Jedi 91 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Exactly.
And the audience has it at a 44. So
what's Alita's box office right now?
It was over 4. Probably should be over 400 now.
I'm gonna check it out.
That's way too high, 44. I think they're trolling us.
360 million worldwide right now.
So I have been wondering though how, like, The Force Awakens has been holding up. The Force Awakens is still holding up at 92 on Rotten Tomatoes on the tomato meter and 87% audience score. with the top critics at 89. Wow. So The Last Jedi really hasn't hurt that movie that much, really. I guess from
Well, it's what I can tell you is though it knocked four full percentage points off of it. It was actually a 91 audience prior to The Last Jedi coming out. It dropped to an 87. So it did influence some folks there for sure.
Yeah. And
we were talking about Tyrone Magnus. He is a big Force Awakens fan. He loves that movie. And it's one of the reasons he hated The Last Jedi so much. He was just irate, after seeing, he was like, Star Wars came back and then they gave us this,
Yeah. Rasmus said he did his part today. He saw Alita for the 4th time. I noticed something on my Alita movie review, and people said they seen that movie like 4, 5, 6, 7 times. I've only seen it once. Maybe I need to go and see it again. That movie was really good. But
I hear there's like a who's who of cameos in this thing.
Yeah, the guy from Terminator Salvation, no, not Salvation, Terminator Genesis, Jai Courtney. He's in
Edward Norton's in it.
Edward Norton, Michelle Rodriguez. She has a cameo, but you wouldn't know it's her. So that's quite a few I know.
What happened to Edward Norton anyway? I mean, that was like, he was like heading up in an area of being one of my favorite actors, and then like he just kind of disappeared on us. That's odd. Think about the movies Edward Norton has been in.
He's been in a lot of great movies,
Yeah, Edward Norton.
Fight Club, American History X.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah,
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon, man, that is such an underrated movie, man. I love Red Dragon.
Hell, I like the 25th Hour. That was a good flick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rounders and Italian Job. I think he's in those.
Which one is a better movie to you, American History X or Fight Club?
American History X.
Yeah, me too. It has much more depth. 2 different movies. That movie is deep, man. Just really deep.
That's too. They're too different to me to even kind of compare.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I enjoyed Fight Club more. But American History X is probably the better film. God dang, they're both good.
I think American History X is probably in my top 20.
I'm a big Fight Club guy. I really like Fight Club. It kind of got me, I mean, everybody that saw Fight Club, though, they really kind of, it caused you to lean back in your chair and sort of think about some things. You were like, what's really going on out there?
And speaking of movies, I thought that Aquaman was supposed to be released on digital already, but I cannot see it on Amazon Prime.
I haven't heard. I just heard saw they were possibly doing an Aquaman 2.
Yes, they should. It's so good. It says here that Aquaman, let me see. Oh, digital release. Digital release. Oh, come on. This loads up so slow.
Dog, what'd you think about Aquaman?
What did I give Aquaman?
I think it's the best DC film.
Oh yeah, I think I said it was better than.
It's better than Wonder Woman.
I think I have it on par with Wonder Woman. I guess. I was good with Wonder Woman up until about the 3rd act, and I wasn't really all that big. So I think they're about 7 out of 10 films. I guess if I had scored them.
Okay.
But it's like on that cusp of would I watch it again? That's like that'd be that bin factor again. Like would I watch Aquaman or am I going to watch Wonder Woman first? I'm gonna have an issue trying to figure that one out. But yeah, I'm probably gonna watch Wonder Woman. I think.
Yeah.
Before I'd watch Aquaman.
Well, I probably would give it I would give like Aquaman like a 8.8 out of 10 and Wonder Woman like a 8.5 out of 10. I mean, they're both right up there, but those are the two best DC films. I don't think anybody can debate that.
Oh, right. Yeah, without a doubt.
Anyway,
I was a big hater of. I did not
anyway,
hate Batman v Superman.
Man,
Yeah, Lex Luthor. Oh my God, Lex Luthor, I forgot all about that too. Until today.
Now it says here that Aquaman is available on digital March 5th, but I don't see it on Amazon.
It's like, man, you had Lex Luthor and you did that. That's what you did with Lex Luthor, really?
Yeah, I didn't care for Doomsday.
Oh, the cave troll.
Yeah, the creature. I didn't care for Doomsday that much, really.
Doomsday was the worst part of that movie for me.
Yeah. I mean, they set up all of the dark side stuff. I thought Darkseid is an interesting character.
You know what? I've just got to say it. I want to see the Zack Snyder cut. I do.
Yeah, because he's actually.
I mean,
he's actually releasing a cut, I believe, right?
Is it coming for real? Is that filing for real? I mean,
you saw Justice League, right?
Yeah. I heard there was a rumor that the Zack Snyder cut could actually get released in the theater, like in maybe October or early November this year.
Let's see.
But here. I don't know if that'll actually happen. I mean, who knows?
Let me look it up real quick because I know I saw something the other day on it.
But I heard he shot Darkseid scenes, and like there's like a Green Lantern cameo or something in that movie.
Wow.
So I don't know. I'd sure as heck like to see it. And all that cringy comedy is gone out of it.
Yeah.
The Josh Whedon crap that I blatantly put in there. Ryan Johnson type out of place comedy.
Well, all right, folks. It's past 7 o'clock here, so
oh yeah,
we are about to wrap things up. Go check out my video that I put up right before the stream. Check out the Dog Show. Check out Road Rants on Star Wars. Any final words, folks?
Thanks for having me on, John, and yeah, thanks for sticking around here, chat. Great to see you, folks, and yeah, see you next time.
Yep, I'm going to be going live on Sunday. Hopefully, these Friday nights have been kind of tough on getting people in. We had 20 there for a while, but
20's pretty good.
Yeah, 20's pretty good, but considering I got like 400 subs like in 2 weeks, still not that great. But we'll try it again on Sunday. But I think the last time we went live on Sunday, like everybody was live at the same time, so
yeah,
that didn't work out too well. So yeah, but folks, you folks have a wonderful weekend. Friday, be safe. We'll see you on Sunday.